with day two. Hello, hello. Um, so this is the Measure What Matters series, the Measure What Matters series, and we are getting started with day two. So I want to welcome everyone to day two of the Getting Started with Measuring What Matters series. And we're going to be talking about metrics today. So definitely want to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me live. Um, Again, those of you who catch it on a replay, thank you to you as well. You can use hashtag replay to let me know that you are joining me on the replay. So this is a series that I'm doing this week, and it's called Measure What Matters. And every day I have a different topic. Yesterday we talked about business standards. So if you missed that one, you definitely want to go and catch it because we talked about why it's important to have business metrics, business standards, standards within your business, how they benefit your business, and things like that. Hey, expert office, thanks for joining me. Um, and then today we're going to be talking about getting started with metrics, right? So anytime we talk about, or I talk about metrics and KPIs or numbers in general, you start to see a glazed look over business owners' faces. But this is like a secret weapon, right? So number one, as CEOs, these are things that we absolutely need to be doing within our business, but it's not just doing it just to be doing it. Is doing it because it benefits us in so many different ways. So for solopreneurs and micro business owners, we don't have a lot of resources in terms of human resources and time. So we definitely want to make sure that we are spending our time as best as possible. And one of the ways we could do this is by using metrics and by monitoring our numbers because they tell a story and they're going to help us to be able to determine what it is that we should be doing and when. So we're not basically spinning our wheels doing things that don't work. That's not putting us on the track to where it is that we want to go. So that's why I'm doing this series. That's why I'm hosting the challenge next week. So if you haven't had a chance to sign up for the challenge, you definitely want to do that. It's called Mind Your Business. But today I want to talk to you about getting started with metrics. And for those of you who do not know me, right? So I'm Tanya Harrison, CEO and founder of Signal Partners. And I work with small businesses, primarily solopreneurs and micro business owners who are overwhelmed and frustrated. And I help them to transform their business and become confident CEOs. So when we talk about metrics, yeah, it's numbers, right? It's something that's quantifiable. But these are measures that are used within businesses to track and monitor your progress and processes. So it's extremely important that you have them in your place. So in your business. So when you think of metrics, think about your GPS, right? So it is like when you're going to a new place, back in the day we had maps and I remember MapQuest. I don't know. I'm probably dating myself, but that's okay. Um, but I remember back in the day we had MapQuest and then we would print it out and as we were going on a trip, it would tell us, how to get there. And today we have Series or maps and all of these things that are right on our phones. So think of your metrics in your business as your GPS because they're going to tell you the direction that you're going. And then they're also going to tell you if you are on track, right? So this whole entrepreneurial thing that, running our business, it's a journey that we're going on. So I know I went way back, Regina. It's a journey that you're going on and you want to make sure that you're headed in the right direction. And just like with the GPS, right, it has different options. And one of the options is it shows us how to get somewhere in the shortest period of time. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to reach our goals and we want to get there as quickly as possible. So, you know, if there's a way to do that, then let's do that. So examples of metrics, and there are so many examples, but one of them is you could be tracking your revenue. And I use revenue because this is the most common one that people tend to track, but they stop there and you don't want to stop there. But you could track your revenue. How much money are you bringing in every week, every month, every quarter? You could track the growth of your business. So, month over month or year over year, how is your business growing? Because ultimately, that's the goal, to continue to grow in your business. But there's other things that you could and should be tracking. So you could be tracking your customer service. So say for instance, you send out surveys and people, your customers are able to rate you 1 to 5. You could be tracking that over time, what your average rating is amongst your customers. Kinda lets you know, how you're doing, if you're doing a good job or not. You can track website traffic, so how much traffic is coming to your website or to your landing pages if you have specific landing pages for services. You can track lead to conversion. So out of all of these leads, what's my conversion rate? So there's so many things that you want to track. But one of the things that I have learned is that people tend to track too many things, right? So we either are not tracking anything or you go to tracking 100 things and then you become overwhelmed. So the goal is not to track all of the things. So we definitely don't want to do that. And so we want to focus, right? We want to focus on a few. So, but before we get there, let me talk about why you want to use metrics. So, one of the biggest benefits of using metrics in your business is clarity. You get really clear on what it is you need to do to move the needle forward in your business, right? So ultimately, we want to propel our business to the next level. There's not many of us that want to remain stagnant or at the same place. We want to grow our business. We want to move to the next level. So if I made 50,000 next year, I don't want to just make 50,000. I want to improve. I want to go to the next level. So the biggest thing is that it gives us clarity so we can see where we are right now, um, and the things that are working, not working, and what we need to do or improve upon in order to move our business forward. And to me, that is a huge benefit because now I'm not trying all of the things. I'm looking at things that I've already tried or strategies that I've implemented, and I can see if it's working or not. And then I know what to double down on, right? The other thing is it shows us where we are in relationship to our goals. So if I have set a goal of, 60,000 this year, 100,000, that's the one everybody says, I can see where I am and if I'm on track, based on my monthly revenue. Um, but another benefit is that it allows us to make decisions, quick decisions, decisions based on information. So I could look at my numbers and I can say, okay, when I did XYZ, or let me be a little bit more specific. When I put out a certain lead magnet, a lot of people gravitated to it, right? So this lead magnet that I put out, it was able to help me grow my list by X amount. Then I could also see, and of those people that got on my list from that lead magnet, they bought XYZ. So I can actually see where my traffic is coming from, what it is that people like, what is helping them to convert. I could really get into the details. And once I start to get in the details, now I could just double down on what I already know works instead of trying a bunch of stuff. I'm not saying that you never need to try new stuff in your business. I'm saying that you don't have to worry about doing it all at once because now I have an idea of what works and I'm going to do more of that to yield the results that I'm looking for. Um, so, clarity, the ability to make decisions quickly, and based off data, and then, guidance towards your goals. So those are some of the benefits, right, to using metrics. But there are so many more. I've really become a believer in metrics. It makes everything much clearer. Yes. Yes, it does, and then we're gonna work hard, like, I'm not saying that you're not gonna work hard, but if you're gonna work hard, let's work hard in the right things, nobody wants to be just spinning their wheels. So let's talk a little bit about how do you get started with using metrics in your business? Because I've told you some of the benefits. I've also told you that you don't want to measure a whole lot because it could be overwhelming. So, how do you zone in and decide what it is that you want to focus on? Well, one of the things you want to do is you want to review your vision. What's your vision for your business? We kind of talked about this yesterday when we were talking about standards. So, I know here's what my vision is. Here's where it is that I want to go, what I want to accomplish, uh, how many people I want to touch. You may have a vision that I want to help 100 people per year, or whatever that looks like. Start there because we always want to make sure that we are aligned with our vision and why we started doing what we did. It's really easy to get hung up and sidetracked when you are online and you see, oh, this person does something similar to me and they're doing XYZ and they're doing XYZ. Well, you may not have been called to do that. So stick to your vision every time you're doing these things. The other thing you want to do is think about your goals and objectives, right? Where is it that I want to go? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? So if I said that I wanted to help 100 entrepreneurs this year, is it 25 per quarter? Do I feel that it's going to be seasonal, right? So maybe the end of the year, I don't want to work as hard. So I may want to do 30, 30, 30, and then 10 in the last quarter. However, that breaks out, make sure you have your goals and your objectives of how you want to do it and what you want to do. And then again, talking about yesterday, you want to make sure you include your business standards. So if I want to be a 5-star um, business, meaning that I want the bulk of my people to give me a 5-star rating, then that may be one of the metrics that I measure. I'm going to measure what my star rating is. Um, or I want to capture so many people's attention per month, or per week, so I may be tracking the visitors that come to my website or the number of new followers on social media. Again, so many things you can track, but we're going to narrow it down. We're not tracking all of the things. So one of the things that I share in my precision planning, and then also that we'll be talking about in the challenge, is your 5 pillars. So I always talk about 5 pillars within business. And based on these 5 pillars, what you want to do is you want to pick 2 to 3 metrics. Trust when I say that's more than enough. 2 to 3, right? So if you pick 2 times 5, that's 10. So it's going to be 10 to 15 things that you want to measure in your business. So the 5 pillars are: you have your financial, operational excellence, customer experience is one. We talk about sales and marketing, got to have that. And then your team and professional development. I want you to have metrics around that, even if you don't have a team, right? So, and I'll share more in the challenge about how you create metrics around that. But you want to make sure that you have metrics in every area, that you are taking in holistic view of your business, because you want to see your business from that 50,000 foot, right? So I'm looking down on my business and I want to be able to see all the different parts of my business. So when you're doing metrics, you don't want to just focus on revenue, because there's so many other things that feed revenue, that if you don't do these other things, that you're not going to be able to hit your revenue goal. So we'll talk more about that in the challenge, where we're talking about lead versus lag measures. But for right now, you need to know the 5 different pillars, and you're going to pick 2 to 3 per pillar, right? So that is how you're going to get started. So you're going to pick your measures. You're going to say, okay, here's the target for each one of these. So for my sales and marketing, if one of the things I'm going to measure is the growth of my list, I'm going to say what my target is, right? So say for instance, I want to grow my list by 100 new subscribers every month. Um, That is my target. So every single week, I'm going to be tracking to see how many I got to see if I'm on track to meeting that 100 for the month and 300 for the quarter. Make sense? Okay. So I'm gonna pick my 2 to 3 metrics per pillar. I'm gonna decide what my target is for every single metric that I am picking. So what is my goal, that it is that I am trying to achieve, and then I'm going to track it, um, you can track it monthly, but I prefer to track weekly because when you track weekly, then you can make tweaks along the way. So if I'm going back to my goal of 100 subscribers per month on my email list, I know that if there's 4 weeks in the month, that the first week I should have an average of 25. If I only picked up 10 subscribers, I know there's some things that I need to tweak in order to make up for this week, right? So I'm short 15 subscribers. So over the next couple of weeks, I need to do my 25 plus. And that's the benefit to measuring it on a weekly basis. So, and when you do your spreadsheet, something really simple, you know what I mean? I'm going to share a tracking spreadsheet in the challenge that you could actually use to track on a week by week basis. And it's basically a dashboard where we're going to be tracking it week to week. You'll see what it is. And then you're going to determine as you go along, is it, and we're talking about old school because I find that this is what works. Red, blue, yellow, right? Am I red means I need to pick up the pace and do something, or green means I'm good to go, or yellow, you know what I mean? I'm okay. Like, but I need to pick up the pace if it's just not red. So that's how you're going to start tracking your metrics. Any questions about that? I, and I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but it's really not as difficult as we think it is. But the main part is the tracking is one thing. The second part is the I'm not gonna say the main part. All of them are equally important, but it's not just tracking for the sake of tracking, right? Now that I've tracked it, I need to take my CEO time, right? So whatever time you decide is your CEO day, and I'm going to review it, and I'm gonna determine what's working, what's not working. Do I need to make adjustments? What areas do I need to make adjustments in? And that's how I'm going to set myself up for the next week. That's why I say doing it on a weekly basis is more beneficial, right? So if you are ready, if you are ready, like I said, to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and really start to mind your business, really start to become more familiar and intimate with your business and what the story is behind your numbers, if you're really ready to propel your business to the next level without all of that added work, you know what I mean, with being able to know exactly what it is that you need to do, then you really need to join me for the challenge. It's a 3-day live challenge. We kick off next week, so you definitely want to go ahead and click the link wherever you are and join me. It is the Mind Your Business Challenge. And we're going to be talking about all of this. I'm going to be sharing with you metrics, giving you examples of metrics that you may want to have for each one of those, giving you cheat sheets. I'm talking about we're just going to be going through the entire thing, and then also talking about key performance indicators because those are the ones that's going to propel you to your business. And then I'll be giving you some resources of how you can track all of this stuff, because that is the main thing, right? Am I on track or not? So go ahead, get started with metrics. I gave you some really, you know basic information, trying not to overwhelm you because I really don't think it's overwhelming if you take a simplified approach. But the benefits are huge. So just start where you are. Again, no more than 2 to 3 metrics per pillar. Don't overdo it. You don't need 50 metrics to run your business. All right. So if you have any questions, you could drop them in the comments below. And again, thank you for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for another live. All right. Have a great day.